If you feel like you're still reeling from being catapulted straight into summer break, you're far from alone. I'm right there with you, and I'm excited to focus our quick discussion this week on exactly what you can do to bring a sense of calm and ease to the busyness of summer so that you not only get things done, but also have plenty of time and space to connect with your kids, have a lot of fun together, and also allow for time to feel well rested and restored. I feel like summer so quickly becomes something that feels chaotic or overwhelming or stressful, and there's no reason to find yourself in that place. So, this podcast episode is really designed to help you get a leg up on summer and start enjoying yourself. Let's dive in. Well, we're back after something of a mini hiatus from the podcast. I felt like it was really important to talk about how to flow with your summer, how to just roll with it and make things as easy as possible. I know that for our family, the past month has been jam packed with so much activity, so much coordinating, so much going off in opposite directions or traveling together. The transition out of the school year has just been one quick thing after another that has completely caused us to need to take a moment to pause and reset. And so honestly, that's what I've been up to the last few weeks is really figuring out what were my priorities in the moment, what could I let go of in this season of things being extra busy and in transition. And I wanted to take time to give you encouragement to do the same if you're feeling like you just found yourself in the middle of summer break and you maybe even aren't quite sure how you ended up here. It could have been a total blur for you, the same way it was for me. So I know that taking time to gather yourself and get clear on what you want this summer to be like is something that's going to be really meaningful and helpful to you in creating a sense of slowing down and just soaking up everything that is so wonderful about summer, even if you still have a lot on your plate. I have to tell you, my summers don't typically start feeling chaotic. This year it did, and I didn't love it. But at the same time, I had braced myself for it. We were coming off the heels of celebrating Jason's 50th birthday. We had a huge birthday party for him. It took a lot of planning and coordinating in that regard. We're in the middle of a home remodel project. We had the kids' school year wrapping up. We had Mother's Day, my birthday, just so many things. And then as soon as school got out, we were on the road, we were traveling, we had friends in town, and I knew all of this was coming. None of it was a surprise. And the reason I was actually able to take it in stride so much better than I probably would have in years past is that I had to be okay with embracing it being imperfect and being okay with some things going left undone. Sure, would I have loved to have brought podcast episodes every week? Absolutely. But at the same time, I knew it wasn't realistic to stress myself out about getting the episodes out there. I knew that there would be an opportunity for me to step back into it and create new episodes for you. And now that time's come, right? So rather than setting rigid expectations or expecting myself to be held to an incredibly high and impractical standard, I really leaned into focusing on what I could be doing to keep our family functioning while also making all of those really special times last month feel really memorable and fun and carefree. And the only way I was able to do that was to give myself permission that it didn't have to all be perfect and didn't have to all be structured and planned out. And at the same time, I'm really proud of myself for keeping structure where I could, where it mattered most. I think that that is ultimately what allowed our family to keep moving forward without everything falling apart and still also being able to lean into having fun. Something else that I think that can be really helpful in making summer feel just really organic and meaningful in the simplest ways is to prioritize connection and meaningful presence with your kids rather than just over planning and trying to cram your days with all sorts of fun activities. And even if you're working full time, this can look like making sure that your weekends aren't filled to the brim What can you do to really lean into the value of just being fully present in pockets of time with your kids rather than getting caught up in overscheduling and having really detailed plans? I know some people also really try to bring a lot of structure to their days, and they think that that's going to help set everyone up for success. I've personally found this to be really unsustainable. And the reason for that is mom life is so unpredictable. You just can't anticipate all the variables and how that's all going to play out. So instead of trying to control all the moving parts of your busy summer, I'm encouraging you to prioritize being present in meaningful pockets of time with your kids and doing so through a loose structure that sets your family up for success, that prioritizes that time together, but then saves space for everything else that still has to get done in your days this summer, or also making sure that there's time for meaningful rest and relaxation for your kids. Our kids are so overscheduled. It's really important that we offset that with opportunities for rest and relaxation. Otherwise, they really are going to struggle with keeping up with everything that's going on. So don't worry about making this the summer of doing everything. I know that making a family bucket list is really popular on social media. I love the idea of that. I think it's really fun. Maybe you do that as a way of kind of focusing in on the big experiences that you want to include this summer. Just make sure that you temper that with realistic expectations in what your capacity looks like this summer. And then also make sure, though, that you have peace of mind knowing there are small things you can do, like having a picnic in the backyard or planning a water balloon fight or, stargazing one night, letting the kids stay up a little later than normal. Those things can really make a big difference in connecting with your child in ways that feel really magical and fun without having to be this big to do. Alternatively, consider how you can create micro adventures. Where are there places in your community that you can take the kids? You can go check out a new park you've never been to, or visit a nearby farm, or hike in an area you've never visited or explored before. This can feel spontaneous and fun without having to be a big commitment on time and energy. And to offset all the excitement of summer, I want you to make sure that you're creating a relaxed atmosphere, an opportunity for everyone, yourself included, to rest and recharge. Trust me when I tell you, my own kids still have a quiet time on the days when they're not at camp. I cannot stress enough the importance of this. It sounds kind of silly. It sounds a little young for an 8 and a 10-year-old to have to do. But I mean, even me as an adult, I enjoy having time to put my feet up, read a book, take a nap, work out, like whatever it is that I want to do for myself that feels really nourishing and supportive. Our kids equally need that in their day. So making sure that you have time somewhere, either in your days or your weeks, where it's just known that, hey, this is our time to rest and relax, you're going to find that that just brings a sense of ease into the busyness of summer. I really hope that these are just some insights that feel supportive to you and are meeting you wherever you're at right now as you transition into summer break. I know that it's a big shift. It's never one that you can predict perfectly how it's going to play out. It's never one that comes together exactly as you anticipate. And I also know that sometimes it starts out really strong and then can sometimes feel like it just falls apart. So I'm going to continue to bring you resources and support that are going to help you come up with an approach to summer that just feels really good and helps it to be a time that feels really special, encourages lots of extra connection with your kids, but also helps ensure that you aren't neglecting everything else that has to happen, right? I feel like for so many moms, summer just feels like this tug of war between wanting to make summers feel fun and to be really present with our kids while also making sure that everything that needs to get done actually happens. And that's a tricky balance to strike, but there are ways that you can definitely get there. And I feel like embracing this idea of an easygoing summer that has a loose structure is one that is going to support you more than anything else. It's been my approach pretty much ever since I've been a mom, which is nearly a decade now, and it has never steered me wrong. I know that there's some predictability in our day. I always know that there's time to connect with my kids, but I also make sure that what needs to get done actually happens. And that's because of my level of comfort with embracing imperfection, prioritizing being present with my kids in ways that are really meaningful but doable without stretching myself too thin. And then making sure that we're offsetting all of our activity and all of our productivity with that rest and relaxation. And I feel like that just helps really create a nice balance that is somewhat predictable, but then can also ebb and flow with the ever changing needs that our family has. So I hope that this gets you started off in the right direction. I am going to be emailing my newsletter subscribers access to my new summertime quiz called Which Summer Success Strategy Do You Need? And it's a 1-minute quiz that will help you to pinpoint where it is that you could make small adjustments to really feel good about the direction your summer is headed in. So if you're interested in getting first access to that quiz, be sure you are on my newsletter. I will link it in the show notes, or you can visit momlifehandbook.com/, and then you'll be on the list to be one of the first to know when that drops. And then with your quiz results, you'll get access to a private podcast episode with personalized insights tailored to your results. So I think that you're going to find that that is really helpful in being strategic and thoughtful and intentional about your approach to summer so that you can make those fine-tuning adjustments to the areas that are maybe causing you more stress or overwhelm in your summer than is necessary. My goal here is for you to really enjoy this time of year with your family and feel really confident in how you do that. So you can grab access to that quiz first at momlifehandbook.com/newsletter. I'll be sending that out early next week. So right after Father's Day. That's all for now. But if you're looking for more supportive insights on how to make this summer a success, make sure you are following this show because this is not the last of our summer episodes. I want to make sure that you feel really supported as summer goes on. And if you make sure you've subscribed to the show, those will land right in your library as soon as they go live. Thanks so much for tuning in. Here's to your most peaceful, enjoyable summer yet. Bye for now.